What's the purpose of goal seek? Well, it's when you know the end result, but you don't know what the input should be to get to your end result. Now, goal seek can be found in the Data Tools tab as part of the section What If Analysis. The following describe goal seek's purpose. It's the opposite of a formula. Instead of finding the end result, you give it the end result and it gives you the input. It automates the trial and error process. It's actually something like guessing on speed. It's useful for situations when you really want quick answers. And using goal seek instead of a formula can be much faster to set up if you know how to use it. And the main advantage of goal seek is that you don't have to change your formulas or turn a formula field to an input field. Let's assume we have the following situation. Your current revenue is as follows. And then your boss comes to you and says, well, how many units do we need to sell to reach a turnover target of 350? Sure, you can turn your formula around, or you can do a second calculation. Or you can use goal seek. That's what we're going to do now. It's very simple. You can use it in stress situations, even when someone is standing behind your shoulder and they're staring at your screen. All you have to do is this. You're going to go to goal seek by going to Data, What If Analysis, and you find it here. If it's something you find yourself using more often, just right mouse click and add it to your quick access toolbar. So you click on goal seek. Here you can see I have a formula, so that's the units sold times price equals my turnover. I've been asked to find out how many units we need to sell to get a turnover of 350. So I need to change the value of this cell to 350. By changing which cell? The units. And I say OK. Then it tells me it's found a solution, and I say OK, and I can see I need to sell 73 units to get to the turnover of 350. And it does this without overwriting anything. My formulas are still intact. The good thing about it is that if your reports are longer and this formula is feeding into other formulas, you want to change, let's say, your last formula and see what is the original input, you can use goal seek for that as well. So in this case, our turnover here, we're annualizing it, we're using our working capital information, and we're calculating a working capital percentage. So ultimately, the unit is feeding in this one, this is feeding into here, and this is feeding into this. And now we're told we need to reduce working capital to 10%. What should be the amount of units we need to sell? So again, you go back to goal seek. We're setting this cell. In this case, it's a value we need to input, and because it's a percentage here, we have to put 0.1 for 10% by changing our units sold. The number of units we need to sell is around 84, 85 to get to a working capital of 10%. You can also use goal seek to calculate things like loan payback. So let's say you want to borrow a loan worth $10,000. You have an interest rate of 8%. The amount of months is 60, so you can pay this back in 5 years. And how much do you need to pay back on a monthly basis? Now there's a formula for this in Excel, and it's called the PMT function. So if I go in it here, it gives me more information about the parts I need to input. You can see it calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. In this case, the rate is my interest rate. And the interest rate here is an annual one. So I need to divide my rate by 12. The number of periods, the months I want to pay back, is this one. My present value, my loan, is this one. The future value and type I can leave empty. The amount I need to pay back is this, and it's negative because it's a payment. So now let's say we look at our expenses and we say, well, we can't pay back this much on a monthly basis. The maximum we can pay back is $150 per month. What can we influence? Well, we need this amount of money. Let's say in this case, we can't negotiate anymore the interest rates, but we can change the months. And again, we're going to use goal seek to find out how many months we need to be able to pay back this loan if we can only afford to pay back $150 per month. We go back to goal seek. That's the cell is fine. Our value is 150. I have to put in minus 150 by changing this one. So that's 88.5 months, which basically translates, it's somewhere between it's around 7.5 years that I need to pay back this loan if I can only afford to pay this much back. That's goal seek. It allows you to find out what inputs you need to get a different calculated outcome. Now it's your turn to use it to find out how low your interest rate negotiation should be for the amount that you can afford to pay back at each month. And you'll do that in the exercise.